I'm going to demonstrate using Gemini AI to manipulate waypoint files. This is just a pretty simple operation, but I've created this mission and mission planner and I've saved it as temp test.waypoints. So let's go over to Gemini and upload the file. So I'm going to use temp test.waypoints. It has uploaded it. Now I'm going to ask Gemini to shift the waypoints in the attached Mission Planner waypoint file south by 1 meter. I usually work in feet and inches, but I chose to work in meters because I have the measurements in Mission Planner set to metric, and I want to be able to compare the two files easily in Mission Planner. So you can see that Gemini has given me a little description of how it came about or how it, did its work, and but with the result being here. So I'm going to copy this waypoint file, waypoints out of this text box, and I already created a file to put these in. I'm going to open it and hit Control A, Control V. I'm using Notepad++ for my text editing. So I've just copied in the new waypoints that Gemini gave me. I'm going to save that. Let's flip back over to Mission Planner and do an append of these waypoints so we can see them with the originals and see how it looks. So we're going to append temp test.mod, and you can see that I have my original 5 waypoints, and then I have 6 through 10, which do appear indeed to be shifted down uh, toward the south. I want to zoom in as far as Mission Planner will let me. And now I'm going to right click precisely at the bottom of the 5 waypoint. This is not perfect, but it will be close. Let's go to Map Tool and say Measure Distance. And now let's right click as best we can right on the 10 and go back to Map Tool, Measure Distance. And wow, 1.00. I did a pretty good job of right clicking, but you can see it did indeed move it down 1 meter. Let's go look at the files themselves back over in Notepad++. I've got the old file and the new file. I'm going to use the plug-in compare tool to compare the two files. And these uh, dark background text is what's different between the two files. So you see it did only change the latitude, but it also changed the home position. This 0 index line is the home position. Well, I didn't want it to do that, though. I should have been more specific. So I can go back to Gemini and say repeat like this, repeat the shift on the original file, but leave the home position in its original position. See what it comes up with there. So one thing that I think is neat is Gemini knows the format of the waypoint file. I didn't have to tell it which fields on was the latitude, things like that. It understands Mission Planner waypoint files. Um, I did try loading this in Copilot a little bit earlier, and Copilot wouldn't let me upload the file. It said it did not understand that type of file yet. But Mission Planner has now, Gemini has created another output for us. Let's copy that. Go back over to the temp mod file. Do a Control A, Control V. So I just pasted in my new waypoints. I'm going to save those. Now let's run the comparison again. Plugins compare. Now notice the top line doesn't have any dark background, so it did modify it. So now my file is have left the home position the same. You may or may not care whether the home position moves, but I just wanted to show that, Gemini understands when you give it those kind of additional instructions it knows what the home position is in the file, and so you can specifically tell it to do that kind of thing. I'll give a demo of something a little more complex in part 2.